Hello, everybody. This is Click and Cliff. Welcome back, and we'll get into it right now. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. This is Click and Cliff trying this podcast thing out. Been thinking about it for a couple of days, and this is how we're going to go do it. This podcast is going to be called Beyond Click and Cliff, and this ain't going to be too much into Lego, even though Lego's my world. This is just going to go on my life. My day-to-day life, and there's probably going to be Lego because look, Lego is in all of our lives, or at least in mine. But we'll try to stay away. I'm gonna try to stay beyond the click and clip where you see me on my regular videos, live streams about Lego, or my YouTube channel. This is going to be about beyond that. What happens in my life beyond what goes on my normal stuff on my YouTube channel or my Lego life. I probably won't be doing this maybe once or twice a month. So this is not going to be an every week video because this, I'll face it, my life ain't that uh, was where I'm looking for. My life ain't that interesting. But there may be a couple of you out there that's watching my channel that may find this interesting. And this is a way for me to open up to you all just a little bit more. And, like I said, we're not going to be discussing much about my, YouTube or Lego. So, when I was thinking about this, I was going, what am I going to say? What am I going to talk about? And like, do I do a series? Do I just start opening up my heart to you guys, or what? What should I proclaim? And how long should this podcast be for? You guys let me know in the comments below if you know how long y'all want to hear me jabber. But my thing is, it doesn't matter how long it is. It could be 5, 10, an hour, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I don't know. But I've listened to other podcasts, and I kind of like the feeling where you can just put it up on the screen, and you can do whatever you're doing, cleaning house, working, whatever it is that you do. You can put it on the background and just listen as you work, and that's I find that enjoyable to myself. Um, you know, I, I believe that's the way I'm going to go on with this podcast, and this is why the title of this first one is the beginning. I don't know if I'll even write episode 1 or 2 anyway, so we're just getting right into it. Now, I was thinking what I'm going to say. Well, I think I'm just going to give you a little bit about myself. First, right off bat, I am Clifford Shipman. I live in the state of Arkansas. I wasn't born and raised here. I was born in Missouri, or Misery, as some people call it. I went to school. Was born in Monette, Missouri. Me and my family moved up to Kansas City, Missouri. Lived in an outskirt town called Lee Summit in Harrisonville, Missouri. Till I was till I was in the 5th grade. Then we moved to Aurora, Missouri, where I basically went to high school and lived for the 20 years of my life after that. I went to school to become a firefighter and I started out as a volunteer. Let's back the story up a little bit. I was a volunteer firefighter first when I first turned 16. Because back then, when you were 16, you could volunteer. And I had a friend of mine did that always missed school. So I said, heck yeah, opportunity to miss school. I'm on it. I'm a real achiever. But anyway, so I got in on as a volunteer, and I absolutely loved it. I fell in love with that job. It was awesome feeling to help somebody else out, and that was the satisfying part for me was. So I went to school, went to Missouri State, I went to MU and got my fire 1 and 2 and EMT basic, and I became a full time firefighter. Now, in that 20-year career, I have accolades, but I'm not going to brag. I was a confined space rescue technician. I was a hazmat operations or tech. I had my instructor's degree, and for Missouri University fire science. So I taught. I I did. I had stacks of paper. Paper, what we used to call is certificate, certified, and I always call them paper because that and a dollar can get me a cup of coffee anywhere in the state of Missouri. But it did help me further in my career, and so that was good. That was good. I then went to load fishing. That was one of my hobbies, fishing and hunting. And then I met my wife. Well, my wife and I dated back in high school, but it wasn't serious. Didn't want to be in a serious relationship back then. But me and my wife got back, started seeing each other again out of high school. So we got married in 2000, the year 2000. We got married. And we brought forth a child in 2001, my one and only. They're my world. She's my little girl's my world. I couldn't think of living in this world without her. My wife too. Um, they've been a big help. So we're still married. My kid is 20 years old now. They grow up so fast. You blink and they're grown. I love them very much. That's my road dog. But then, my dad, my mom passed away in the year, I want to say 2013. And I left my dad. Then my dad, it's weird. My mom had congestive heart failure. She passed away. And then my dad developed cancer right after she passed away. And he only lived like till 2015. But uh, since mom passed away, all his family was here in Arkansas. And me being the only child, he wanted to go back home. And so I thought I at least could do that for him, take him back home where he was born and raised. He had brothers and sisters down here. So we kind of just, I retired um, from the fire department. I'll tell you I'll tell that story here in a minute, but let's finish this story out. And so we moved down here to Arkansas and let my dad finish out the rest of his days around, his brothers and sisters and, me. Wasn't going to let him move down here by himself. Me being in Aurora, I just couldn't stand it. I loved my dad, and, so I wasn't going to let him fight it on his own. So I moved to Arkansas. But the reason why I retired from the fire department is I got injured. Not necessarily on the job, but I think the job had something to do with it. But as I said before in one of my other videos on Just Sit Down, basically, put it forwardly, I have a medical condition now that I didn't have back then. I wasn't this big back then. Believe it or not, I was fit. But, I almost died. And so I had to retire from the fire department and try to do other things. So that's where I am at today. I'm in Arkansas. I'm a medically retired firefighter, and here trying to make friends. Of course, that didn't stop after that. My family went and done a lot of things. I tried to do work, but I couldn't. So I had to go to the doctor and get it figured out. And got fixed, kind of. Still can't do much living. So, not living. I guess that's the wrong word to say. I'm living, but I can't do much. So that's where we find, I said I wasn't going to put Lego in it, but here I am going to plug in the Lego. Lego saved me from depression. Because doing work and then come to a sudden halt sucks. It weighs on your brain, your mentality, and everything else. So yes, Lego did save me on that, and so. But anyway, back so I live in Arkansas now. That's a little bit about myself, and I plan on telling you a little bit more as we go. Kind of like tell you stories about my childhood. I've been in some shenanigans, and I have a bunch of stories that I kind of like. Like I said, this is beyond Click and Cliff. This is telling you more about me than what you get in my other videos. So, yeah. Um, my phone's going off. Pardon that. Um, I think what I'm planning on doing, like, there's a dead silence here. I know. Um, you know me, I don't edit very much. I probably won't edit this, so you get the real rough draft of me. So there's my story in a nutshell. Now on these podcasts, I might start telling you some stories about me. We're gonna have some fun with this. Like I said, this ain't gonna be every week. This is gonna be maybe once or twice a month when I sit down here and do this with you guys, which is great. This is what I want to do. But yeah, we. So what else can we say here? So now I'm at the point of my life where I'm thinking about other stuff now. I am 44 years old. I lived a life of not taking care of myself, and I found, and who's to blame? Me. So I am kind of thinking about stuff, and my biggest journey is of course you see me on here. I'm a big boy. Probably could stand to lose a couple pounds, miss a couple dinners or lunches. Probably won't hurt me a bit. We got a show coming up, which I'm kind of worried about because I just got to tell you I went through some medical issues. Where a lot of it is I can't my stamina. as far as walking. I can't walk very far. I guess I should just tell you, give you a little update on my medical condition. Year 2019, oh, 2015, my colon basically erupted. Had a whole lot. It started out with a diverticulitis, and I just thought, well, yeah, it'll take care of itself, like an ulcer. Just kind of cut back about eating. That's what I was doing, I thought, but there were still foods that messed with it that was really unaware about, and basically my colon exploded. If y'all don't know what diverticulitis is, it's kind of like an ulcer in your intestines or your colon, like little pits inside your intestines where food or seeds or whatever get caught in, and then it irritates it. Mine got so bad it basically erupted. So I had to have surgery. Well, when your body has a medical issue, it don't have to be a physical issue. It could be a medical issue that your body is so, different about or shock. Your body will throw a clot. It's supposed to be a your body defense, but your body does stuff in weird ways that only doctors and professionals know about, and I'm neither one of those. But I had a pulmonary embolism. I was 50-50. My doctor told me when I went to the ER, got flown to a bigger hospital, you're on the 50-50 line. Come out of it or not. I was scared. And if you don't know what pulmonary embolism is, a blood clot that went through your lungs, and if it got to my heart, it would have died. Well, my valve in my heart saved my life. It kind of hung up that blood clot. I got up there and they took care of it. I'm here, obviously, so my only drawback is I got to take blood thinners the rest of my life so I don't develop any more, because when your body develops one, they usually develop more. And pulmonary embolism was no joke. So I put off my surgery for 6 months. So in my mind, I'll take surgery, I'll go back to work. And, well, I had a pulmonary embolism, my FMLA and my vacation went out. So I basically became unemployed. Which is, the union, they done everything they could. They held my position. My chief said when I got better, come back. And so I had to wait 6 months after the pulmonary embolism to have my surgery. I had my surgery. They did it microscopically, so I thought I was on the mend. My body does not like me because I went to do physical therapy and I felt something tear in my gut. Just kind of feel like my whole gut just dropped. I'm like, something didn't feel right. Instant pain. I was getting septic. Well, what it was, they went microscopically, but when, what they did, they cut out the bad part of my intestines and stitched them back together, but the stitches did not hold. And so I was getting bile in my stomach, and I got septic, cut pneumonia, had to be put on life support for a month and a half. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a scar on my neck there where they had to put a trach in me. Well, it wasn't a fun time because that just made it the whole time worse because I had to learn how to walk again, and I was it took me 6 months to recover and get off of the ventilator. And I was a smoker. I smoked, ate smoke for a living, so all of this is adding against me. I took about 6 months after the surgery. I had to learn how to walk again. So, like I said, when you're doing something every day, then it comes to a complete stop. It does wonders for you. So, I was getting depressed. I mean, my attitude was, why did I even live? Why did I even get through this? Well, Lego Masters was on TV. told the wife. I used to do that when I was a kid. It was fun. She went to the store, got me a Captain America mech, and I built it. And this is where it came to. I fell in love with it, got me out of my depression. I was able to think of doing something with my hands. In my mind, I was doing something productive. I was working, so everything got better. And everything's good right now, other than I need to lose some weight and work on my stamina, and that's where my stamina is. Because me smoking cigarettes, eating smoke for a living, and the pulmonary embolism really did a number on my lungs. So I get out of breath real fast. You probably heard in some of my videos where I'm walking and you hear me have to like I'm fine. It's just my lungs are scarred and it's hard to, I lose stamina. I get tired, so I've got to stop every so often. And we got a show coming up in Nashville. That's what I'm going to a Lego show and with my friends, and that's where I feel iffy about because my stamina. I'm really afraid that I'm going to be a hinder, and I don't you know, want to be a bother to them. And I mean, I want to go do this because I've never been to a show. I think it's going to be awesome. There's why I didn't go to Chicago is because of, I got other stuff going on too. I got to wear a respirator at night. I don't have the same bodily functions as normal. Um, I have two buttholes, so that makes I don't need to go any further than that. But so there's other things that I've got to be concerned about too as well. So that's kind of scaring me. So other than that, but other than that, life's good, right? So I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Uh, but you know, that's the nature of the beast. So that's where I'm at right now with everything. I told you about myself, what happened to me, where I'm at today. Now, my whole life wasn't bad. I had good times. I have an awesome daughter. I got an awesome wife. I got my dog Bo. I got my friends and you guys. I've got some stories, but I don't want to waste it all on this one podcast. I want maybe I can tell you a story next time. But this is just the beginning, kind of giving you an idea about me, where I'm at in my life, how I got to where I'm at today, from where it all began. I so that so I don't know. Maybe, maybe y'all might like this. You might like for me to just open up and it's like I said, this is beyond clicking cliff. I mean, what you see in my normal videos on my YouTube channel, it's all about Lego or my YouTube channel. Very so usually about Lego most of the time. My just to sit down and just kind of one subject, but most generally it is about Lego. Um, but here I'm just trying. I'm gonna give you a little bit more of my life. Uh, but you know, so this first video, like I said, this first video is just kind of where I'm at now, where I kind of let you in where I've been in my life and to where I'm at today. Hang out with you fine peeps here on YouTube and Lego. Uh, I don't know, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Like I said, my next one may be 2 weeks from now or a month from now. Just keep an eye out. It will be on my channel underneath the podcast tab on my channel. You guys are more welcome to listen to it anytime you want. But yeah, uh, of course, if you got any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them on my next podcast. We could do it that way if you want. We could always add that part of the podcast, or like read some comments. So that'd be great. Y'all leave some comments and kind of we can go over it in the next podcast and we get into the. But there's going to be some awesome stories that I hope that you guys do find a little hilarious. I'm not a perfect angel, so there's going to be some like, man, really, you really did that? Yeah. Yep. I wasn't always an angel. I'm still not an angel. I try to be good to one another, and I'm, you know, pay it forward, be nice to one another, and this will be it. Usually on my YouTube, usually on my YouTube channel, usually on my YouTube channel, I I will say clicking ain't easy, but this ain't Lego. This is beyond clicking clips. So, well, I guess what I could say is always be nice to one another, show love and care, open the door for somebody. Until next time.